Now, for more on the story, let's cross to our correspondent in Rome, Seema Gupta. Seema, hello. What exactly can you tell us more about this uptick in migrant arrivals and the consequences of that uptick?
Well, just to give you an idea, the local priest on the island of Lampedusa described the situation as tragic, dramatic and apocalyptic. He said that's really the reaction. Close to 7,000 new migrants arrived within the span of 24 hours. Garbage not being disposed of. They're fighting over water. So you can imagine the situation in an island. Now, that figure of close to 7,000 is several hundred times more than the actual population on the island of Lampedusa. Now, overnight, we heard reports of some skirmishes, but the authorities have been able to control the situation. And now they're putting in place commercial ferries as well as the Coast Guard to try and move these migrants, these numbers, to other centres on the mainland and on the island of Sicily as well. Now, the migrant reception centre on Lampedusa itself can only contain some 400 or so people. So really, it's a huge number to deal with. And that's essentially because, according to the Italian authorities, the weather conditions in Tunisia and the sea conditions led to the fact that there was a build-up of boats, if you like, holding these migrants to be able to make this journey. And so once the sea conditions improved, they came in these numbers, being described as almost like a flotilla of boats arriving on the island. Since the beginning of the year, more than 120,000 migrants have arrived by sea onto Italy, and including in this group more than 11,000 unaccompanied minors as well. So you have children. Unfortunately, we also saw the reports of a 5-month-old baby, unfortunately, drowned when the authorities tried to save that baby who was on one of those boats. So you can imagine the situation, very dramatic. The authorities, though, are trying to do what they can to deal with these sheer numbers of arrivals.
And what exactly has been the government's response to the situation on the ground and really to the arrival of this many migrants?
Well, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni did lead the EU into striking a deal with Tunisia in order to stem the migratory flow. But so far, it doesn't seem to be having very much of an effect on the ground. And on the ground, you have the Civil Protection Minister saying that Lampedusa really has done all that it can do. And this is not about saving lives at sea. There's no question on that issue at all. But it's about stopping the boats from making that journey, stopping them from the point of departure. That's always been the line taken by the Italian government. And in fact, they've been quite hostile towards migrant rescue boat ships that are trying to help those migrants at sea. The Deputy Prime Minister, Antonio Tajani, said you need short, medium and long-term responses to this problem. And he's calling into question that Dublin protocol that's been put in place, saying that it's old-fashioned. That's the one that says that asylum seekers need to be processed in the places that they arrive. And you have these migrants wanting to travel up north of Europe, though. And so you have those northern European countries saying that they don't want to accept them. So you have this situation of a tussle between Italy and the EU. In the meantime, on the ground, the authorities are having to deal with these migrant arrivals.
Thank you very much. Seema Gupta there reporting from Rome.